Please help me to reach 1,000 subscribers. If this story resonates with you, please like the video and share your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. Thank you for being here. For the longest time, I believed staying quiet meant I was strong. I told myself that overlooking problems showed maturity, that choosing peace over confrontation made me the bigger person. That was the excuse I used every time I ignored another warning sign with Claire. She was bold, impulsive, and lived for excitement. In the beginning, that energy pulled me in. She was everything I wasn't: unplanned, fearless, alive. I admired it. But over time, that same unpredictability stopped feeling fun and started feeling careless, even hurtful. When she mentioned she was heading out for a weekend trip with her friends, I didn't protest. I wanted to be the trusting partner. She'd been emotionally distant for weeks, blaming stress, exhaustion, and the need to find herself again. I listened quietly while she packed, avoiding my gaze, moving too fast like she couldn't wait to leave. Something felt off, but I buried the feeling. For 3 days, communication was minimal. Short messages. Empty words. Having fun. Miss you. No calls. No photos. Nothing real. Late Sunday night, she came back glowing, sun-kissed skin, confident smile, and explanations that didn't quite line up. Her phone supposedly died. The hotel Wi-Fi was apparently terrible. She brushed it all off with laughter, saying the weekend was overwhelming. That's when something inside me shifted. Maybe it was the way she dodged my eyes. Maybe it was how rehearsed her joy sounded. I don't know. But instead of arguing, I did something I never thought I would. I checked her saved drafts on social media. And there it was. A private video she never meant for me to see. Claire sitting beside Ethan, her ex, on a beach. Drinks in hand. Laughing like nothing had ever ended. His arm resting comfortably against her. Intimate. Familiar. I stared at the screen, strangely calm. No shaking. No tears. Just clarity. It's unsettling when you realize the person you love has been replaced by someone you don't recognize. I saved the video to my phone and said nothing. Not that night. Not the next day. She assumed my silence meant ignorance. What she didn't understand was that quiet isn't always surrender. Sometimes it's preparation. The following days felt surreal. Claire moved around our home like everything was normal, humming, making coffee, kissing my cheek, talking about work. She played her role perfectly. If I hadn't seen the truth, I might have believed her. But I had. So I waited. I watched. I listened. I gathered resolve. I promised myself that when I spoke, it wouldn't be emotional or messy. It would be clean. Final. On Thursday evening, I suggested we go out for dinner, just us like before. She eagerly agreed. She even wore the dress I once loved, the one from our first vacation together. The irony didn't escape me. Midway through the meal, she started retelling stories from her girls' trip. Beaches. Drinks. Laughter. Lies delivered with confidence. I let her finish. Then I gently set my phone on the table. Is this the beach you meant? I asked as I hit play. Her laughter filled the restaurant. Ethan's presence was undeniable. His hand on her leg. Color drained from her face. The glass slipped from her fingers and shattered on the floor. Conversations around us stopped. Eyes turned. The moment froze. She scrambled for words, excuses, explanations, but they meant nothing now. I looked at her calmly and said, "You lied again. And this time you documented it yourself." She had no response. I stood, left cash on the table, and said quietly, "You can stay and eat. I'm finished." And I walked away. No yelling. No scene. Just certainty. The kind that cuts deeper than anger ever could. Outside, the night air felt heavy yet freeing. For the first time in months, my chest felt light. I wasn't angry. I wasn't broken. I was done pretending. Back home, I packed slowly and deliberately. Clothes. Essentials. A few meaningful items. I left our wedding photo face down. Left the gifts behind. I didn't want reminders of something built on dishonesty. Her calls came nonstop. Messages full of apologies and promises. But once trust is shattered, words lose their sound. All you hear is every lie echoing at once. The next morning I sent one message. I know who you really are now. You don't need to explain yourself to me. Figure it out for yourself. The paperwork will follow. That was the end. I left the keys on the counter and walked away from the life we'd created. Weeks passed. Friends asked questions. I told them there was nothing left to explain, only lessons learned. Claire tried again. Even showed up at my workplace claiming regret, claiming love. But love without respect is just routine. And I refused to survive on scraps. Life slowly found its balance again. Early mornings. Long runs. Quiet meals. Small habits that reminded me I was whole on my own. The silence that once felt empty became peaceful. I never exposed her. Never shared the video. Never sought revenge even though I could have. I chose self-respect over retaliation, because sometimes walking away speaks louder than destroying someone. Months later, I saw her at a cafe. She looked up, expecting something, maybe forgiveness, maybe familiarity. I gave a brief nod and kept walking. She watched, searching for the man who once ignored the truth. He didn't exist anymore. The man who left that restaurant wasn't shattered. He was finally free. Please help me to reach 1,000 subscribers.